What is up, Rad Potential YouTube? Welcome to the Holley Sniper on a rotary engine in review, the final culmination of all the good stuff we've achieved and figured out and learned and failed on this car. So let's talk about it. First things first, teach you a little bit about RX-7s, okay? This is a 1984 Mazda RX-7. In 1984, you could have got two engines in this car, a 12A or a 13B. The 12A is the smaller one. It's about 1100 cc's. Converts over to about 70 cubic inches. The 13B is 1300 cc's, and I didn't do the math on that one before the video, but pretty easy. So this car is a 12A car. It has the small engine. The 12A would have came with a carburetor and all the appurtenances to support that, okay? I think they were rated at a measly like 90 horsepower. And let me tell you, it doesn't feel like 90 horsepower. Most rotary people, they say they're only making 450. It's gonna feel like 600 to a non-rotary person. So these cars got some pep in their step, but the old 12A carburetors, the rat's nest, the emissions, and all of that stuff is kind of a mess to maintain. You have a whole bunch of stuff going on down in here that really just makes it a pain. And a lot of shops, i.e. pretty much every shop that doesn't say rotary in their name, is probably not gonna wanna work on your car, okay? They're gonna be scared of it. Mazda dealerships that'll work on these things are few and far between, and really the support for them is going away. So with that being said, the Holley Sniper EFI, this magical self-tuning EFI throttle body that bolts on anything and it just runs perfect. Well, in most cases that's true, and in this case we're not far off. So if you've been a new follower, if you are a new follower of the channel and you just see in this video, go back on the channel. I have a video documenting every single facet of installing the Holley Sniper on your car using this one as a subject, going from putting the coolant temperature sensor in, installing the O2 sensors and where they go with reference to the engine, how far back to go, installing the fuel pump that this kit that we bought from Holley supplied, in addition to fabricating a throttle cable bracket and installing the intake manifold, and lastly, doing the wiring. Don't be afraid, Holley Sniper folks, people considering this. The wiring is easy. It's legit 4 wires, 4 new wires that you have to run on your car, and 1 that goes from the Sniper to the fuel pump. Don't use your existing wiring for that one. Run the wire that Holley gives you. And the rest of it, super easy. Positive, negative, positive while cranking, and a coil signal. And the thing's ready to run. Once you get all that stuff hooked up, simply punch in the data into the Sniper EFI computer. For this case, not to get into too much detail, but I will highlight this. Don't put 70 cubic inches in. I used double the cubic inches, so I put 140, and the car liked that a lot better. So I don't know why. Other Sniper people that have installed, my people I've learned and did whatever, recommended that to me. So for what it's worth, that's that bit. Now I'll tell you this much. I don't think I've ever had a car cold start, fresh, new, everything start as fast as this one did on that base map. So kudos to Holley for the consistency, making sure everything works. I know they definitely probably didn't test this on a rotary, but they just made it, and I'm stoked with how well it works on here. Okay, so the next bit, drivability. Currently, this car is untuned by a professional, and we'll get a little bit more in depth in that in a second, but untuned by a professional. I'm gonna put some clips in right now. You guys are gonna enjoy the quiet sound of this unmolested, super nice rotary car. It varies, vastly different from the cars I typically drive on the channel, which are super loud and just, it's a rotary. If you're gonna be slow, you gotta be loud. At least, in, I don't know, whatever. Enjoy the clips. This thing with a carburetor before and with the Holley Sniper after. And then we're gonna talk a little bit when we get back. We're about ready to race every single bumblebee from this little stop. We're gonna do like a little, I will do what I do in that video, 20 roll. All right, so you guys ready? This is gonna be visceral. promise, that was every bit of the floor. Now that we're back from enjoying those clips, which one did you think is faster? But Dyno says the Sniper's faster. Keep in mind, the timing has not changed. The only thing that's changed is fuel delivery on this car, from the old Nicky to the new hotness, the Sniper EFI. And I guess you could say that it has more of a cold air intake now, but exhaust is the same effectively. So which one did you think? I think, like I said, Sniper's faster. So let's get into the drivability. Off the rip, the Holley Sniper starts way better. Turn the key, cold, hot, let the fuel pump prime, bump it, fires right up. Now, it wasn't always like that. It did take it a few tries to learn its idle, to learn the hot start, to learn the like lukewarm start. But the car is fantastic as far as starting. Now, drivability. No car, or at least I guess we'll rephrase that. Drivability. Everybody's perception of a perfect driving car is different, okay? For example, that car over there, super rowdy, ported, crazy engine, giant carburetor, much like having a huge cam on your small block Chevy. My mom would think that car runs terrible because if you stab the throttle, it bogs. If you don't, you know, you gotta be real careful when you start it, not to flood it, etc. Okay? Everybody's perception of everybody's perception of a perfect running car is different. And I will say that this car doesn't run perfect for me, but other people that have installed the Snipers say that it runs perfect. And the reason I say that is that this car has a slight, ever so slight hesitation. Given that it's a stock 12A, those cars are usually super smooth, and I wish this one was just as perfect smooth at that, like, there's one weird spot in the tune that it just has this like tiny hesitation. I can't get to learn to fix it. I've tried tuning it myself, and I just don't know enough about tuning to fix that. Now, compared to the carburetor that was on this thing, the carburetor that was on this thing had mechanical secondaries. If you stabbed it, it would bog, and you had to roll in slow. You couldn't stab it out of a corner. This one does all of that. This one revs way smoother. This one just pulls way quicker. It feels a lot snappier. Your rev response is a lot quicker. The Sniper, guys, I'm telling you, the Sniper is going to be the way of the future if we can overcome a couple things. As I was just saying with it not running perfect, the self-learn can only get you so far. Do not count on the self-learn to get your car running perfect. Maybe it will achieve your definition of perfect, but for me, it didn't get it running perfect, and that's where we need your guys' help to take this to the next level, okay? I don't know a ton of tuners that will tune a Holley Sniper on a rotary, and maybe it's just the fact that not a lot of people have asked them to tune it. So this is where Holley, other companies, tuning companies, whatever, need to step up and also try this and be more than backyard rad potential guy here that installs this stuff. And even though I'm pretty smart, I'm not an EFI tuner wizard. So the car definitely runs enough for you to drive it long term, not have any issues, and be reliable. The second day it was running, I drove it 40 miles one way across town, 40 miles back with no problems. And that's like, I was self-learn tuning the whole way there and just was like trying to figure it out. And it definitely pulled every hill. It did everything that the car needed to do, and it ran epic better on the way back than it did there. But that's the self-learn process, right? So finding a tuner to make this perfect is the final step. In my mind, the future of the old school rotary cars. If you look at the market right now for parts, right, for these cars, one, there isn't any tune. Two, Racing Beats quit making some of these manifolds. They're getting hard to get. You can't get Weber manifolds. You can't get Holley manifolds. You got to buy them used. You can't really find them new. They're not exactly the most pricey things. I mean, they're pretty average when it comes to manifolds. The Holley Sniper is going to run you, yeah, it might be more expensive than a carburetor, okay? But even for muscle car guys, carburetors can be expensive, but your average carburetor is about the same price as the carburetor you would run on a rotary. And an old school Weber, like a genuine Weber carburetor, isn't that much cheaper than that Holley Sniper. And I will tell you 100% confidence, the Sniper runs way better than my Weber, which I have spent hours and hours and hours and tons of money tuning. And this thing just works, guys. It just works. So, like I said, the future of this, we need the tuners. We need companies to step up and make intake manifolds for these and give us some support. I think 4-barrel and 2-barrel, it would be awesome. The 2-barrel price is a little bit cheaper. I think the 2-barrel suits the 12A stock port, like the smaller engines, a lot better. And yeah, we're the early people. We're the first ones to really do this and document it. There's probably sub 40, 50 cars with this installed, you know, for sure in the United States. I don't know about anywhere else, but I'm a member of all of the groups that do these things, and it's just not a common thing. And I hope that it can be more common, because Holley, you know, they just came out with the Sniper. Holley still supports carburetors and intake manifolds for cars that are way older than rotary cars and way more unique than rotary cars. I mean, like, who runs 3 2-barrels? Like, what even is that? So anyways, if Holley is going to support that stuff, they're definitely going to support the Snipers for the future. And if we can convince Holley to add a timing control for a rotary in this thing, I think it's pretty much dialed. I don't think there's much in the wake of fueling that needs change, just some simple software changes and maybe an extra output on the ECU or the wiring harness so we can run split timing. I mean, is that too much to ask? You know? Now I'm telling you, or I will tell you this, from a business standpoint, yeah, the muscle car people definitely have the way to making changes to the Holley Sniper. There's way more of them, but I definitely think that the rotary people have got some pull and that these things are pretty awesome. And if we all saddle up and get on this rig right here and start putting these Snipers on our cars, because it's actually supported and it works and you can do all sorts of stuff, I think it's awesome. And this Sniper made this car mega reliable, and I'm super stoked. And here in a couple months, give this car back to its owner to get his thoughts on what he thinks, and he can compare. He's owned this car for a long time. It'll be awesome to see the car with the changes and see how much better it is. So with that, guys, I'm going to leave you guys to the comments. Get fired up, get the Holley Sniper, get it installed on your car, and let's get everything figured out and get it tuned and get these things running perfect. You know, there's people out there that, like I said, this thing has achieved their definition of running perfect, and I think it's definitely really close, but I might just be a little bit more picky. But I'm telling you, this thing starts every time, hot, cold, warm, whatever. Here, this car's been sitting here. I won't even get in it. That's how confident I am. It's gonna start reaching here. We're gonna grab the key. Look, not faking you. You can still see me. You can still see me. Hear that IAC kick in? How about that? So, with that, guys, the Holley Sniper is epic. I'm super pumped with how it turned out. Get a competent tuner in here to make all the transient things perfect where the self-learn can't exactly figure it out. And I think we're onto something. So, thank you guys very much for watching. If you're a rotary lunatic like me, hit the subscribe button. If you just love figuring out new things on cars and are interested in all this stuff, go back and check out the Sniper videos. If you like the other videos, hit the subscribe button for me and check everything out. I really do appreciate all of you guys watching the videos on the channel. And we're small, but hey, we're out here trying new things. We're out here trying to give you guys what you want to see. So any questions, let me know. We'll get them answered. And like I said, for the 3rd time, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Keep it rad. Buddy, come here. You gotta say hi. Come on. Let's go. Full speed. Full speed. Hey, you gotta say hi. You gotta say hi. Peace.